The Thatched Roof Hut and the Pastor, a Tale of Triumph. Hear the tale of Enwa, a village shrouded in despair, and Pastor is, the man who dared to challenge the darkness. This is a story of faith, courage, and the unwavering power of good against evil. Prepare to witness a spiritual battle unlike any other. In the heart of Nigeria lay the village of Enwa, once vibrant, now consumed by a chilling curse. A dark cloud hung over the land, suffocating hope and replacing it with an unbearable sorrow. The air itself seemed to whisper of impending doom. The curse manifested in horrifying ways: crops withered before harvest, children succumbed to premature deaths, and laughter was replaced by mournful wails. Despair was a constant companion, clinging to the villagers like a second skin. Enwa was a village dying from the inside out. Many spiritual leaders had attempted to break the curse, but all had failed, their efforts proving futile against the unseen force. Each defeat deepened the despair, convincing the villagers that Enwa was doomed. Hope seemed a distant memory, lost in the shadows of the curse. Then came Pastor Is, a man unlike any who had come before. He possessed a quiet strength, an unwavering faith that radiated from his very being. He was not swayed by the village's despair, nor intimidated by the curse's power. Pastor Is understood that this was not a battle to be fought with earthly weapons. He retreated into prayer, spending days seeking divine guidance, pleading for understanding. He knew that the key to Enwa's salvation lay in the hands of the Almighty. In his fervent prayers, a revelation came: the others failed because they bowed. This cryptic message resonated deep within his soul, hinting at the true nature of the evil plaguing Enwa. He understood that the cause demanded submission, a spiritual surrender. He received a vision: a dilapidated thatched roof hut, radiating an unnatural darkness. This hut, he knew, was the epicenter of the curse, the dwelling place of the evil that held Enwa captive. The vision was a call to action, a divine mandate to confront the darkness. The withered crops and premature deaths were not mere misfortunes, they were symbols of the curse's destructive power, a visual representation of the life it was stealing from Enwa. They served as a constant reminder of the village's suffering. Chief Ofedile, a man consumed by greed and corruption, embodied the moral decay that often accompanies such darkness. He represented the earthly forces that enabled the curse to thrive, feeding off the village's despair for his own gain. The thatched roof hut was more than just a building, it was a symbol of the unseen evil force that held Enwa in its grip. It represented the spiritual stronghold that needed to be broken, the heart of the darkness that had to be vanquished. The act of bowing represented spiritual submission to evil, a yielding of one's will to the dark forces at play. It was the ultimate act of surrender, the very thing that had doomed the previous spiritual leaders who had attempted to break the curse. Pastor Is arrived in Enwa not as a conquering hero, but as a humble servant of God. He was met with skepticism and weariness, the villagers hardened by years of disappointment. They had seen too many promises broken, too many hopes dashed. He was guided by Nkem, a young woman who had witnessed the village's slow destruction. Her eyes held a deep sadness, but also a flicker of hope, a desperate yearning for salvation. She became Pastor Isa's eyes and ears, helping him understand the depth of Enwa's suffering. The sight of the thatched roof hut sent a chill down Pastor Isa's spine. It radiated an oppressive darkness, a palpable sense of evil that seemed to seep into the very air around it. He knew that this was the place where he would face his greatest challenge. Unlike those who came before him, Pastor Is refused to bow, either physically or spiritually. He stood tall, his gaze fixed on the hut, his heart filled with unwavering faith. He would not yield to the darkness, he would confront it head-on. Finding the main entrance blocked, Pastor Is took an unconventional approach. He climbed over the thatched roof, defying expectations and demonstrating his unwavering determination. He would not be deterred by obstacles, physical or spiritual. As he entered the hut, a dark force erupted, filling the space with shrieking rage and a heavy, suffocating atmosphere. The air crackled with malevolent energy, testing his faith and threatening to overwhelm him. The battle had begun. Grotesque figures flickered in the shadows, clawing at the walls, their forms shifting and swirling like nightmares made real. They were manifestations of the curse, the embodiment of Engwa's deepest fears. They sought to intimidate and break his spirit. But Pastor Is stood firm, his voice ringing out with unwavering conviction, "I serve the Almighty God." His words were a declaration of war, a challenge to the darkness that dared to hold Engwa captive. He invoked the power of the divine, calling upon the ultimate source of good. The hut trembled violently, as if an unseen force was battling within its very structure. The foundations groaned, the walls shook, and the air vibrated with intense energy. The battle raged, a clash between light and darkness, good and evil. Then, suddenly, silence. The shrieking rage ceased, the heavy atmosphere dissipated, and the grotesque figures vanished. The turning point had been reached. The power of God had prevailed. Pastor Is emerged from the hut, his eyes blazing with divine fire. He was no longer just a man, he was a vessel of God's power, a beacon of hope in the darkness. He had faced the evil and emerged victorious. With a final, earth-shattering groan, the thatched roof hut collapsed, crumbling into dust. It was a symbolic act, the eradication of the curse, the destruction of the spiritual stronghold that had held Engwa captive for so long. As the hut crumbled, a cleansing rain began to pour over Engwa, washing away the darkness and symbolizing renewal. The rain was a blessing, a sign of God's grace and forgiveness. It was a promise of a brighter future. The people of Engwa wept, but this time, their tears were of joy, not sorrow. They had witnessed a miracle, a testament to the power of faith and the unwavering love of God. Hope had been restored, and their hearts were filled with gratitude. Chief Ofeda's evil dealings were exposed, his corruption laid bare for all to see. He was brought to justice, held accountable for his role in perpetuating the curse and exploiting the village's suffering. His downfall marked the end of an era of darkness. Peace returned to Engwa, a peace that was deeper and more profound than anything they had known before. The land was reborn, the crops flourished, and laughter filled the air once more. Engwa was a testament to the power of faith and the triumph of good over evil. The story of Engwa and Pastor Is teaches us that true victory requires more than just physical strength, it requires unwavering faith and a deep understanding of the spiritual forces at play. It is a reminder that the battle against evil is often fought on a spiritual plane. Pastor Isa's unwavering faith was the key to his success. He never doubted the power of God, even in the face of overwhelming darkness. His faith was a shield against the evil that sought to consume him, a source of strength that allowed him to persevere. Chief Ofeda's actions serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed and corruption. His desire for power and wealth blinded him to the suffering of his people, ultimately leading to his downfall. He is a reminder that true leadership is about service, not self-interest. The ultimate message of the story is that good will always triumph over evil. Even in the darkest of times, hope remains, and with faith and courage, anything is possible. The story of Engwa is a testament to the enduring power of good. The story empowers us to understand that the battle against evil begins with recognizing its presence and understanding its tactics. Knowledge is power, and by understanding the nature of the darkness, we can better equip ourselves to fight against it. It serves as a cautionary tale about the destructive nature of greed and the importance of moral integrity. It reminds us that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the strength of our character and the depth of our compassion. The story underscores the importance of justice and holding the corrupt accountable for their actions. It reminds us that we must stand up for what is right, even when it is difficult, and that we must never allow evil to go unchecked. Ultimately, the story is about renewal, about the transformation from despair to hope, from darkness to light. It reminds us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, we have the power to create a better future, a future filled with peace, justice, and love. Pastor Is, his mission fulfilled, departed Engwa, leaving behind a village transformed. He sought no reward, no recognition, only the satisfaction of knowing that he had served God and helped his fellow human beings. His legacy lived on in the hearts of the people he had saved. Engwa was reborn, a testament to the power of faith, courage, and the unwavering love of God. The village stood as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even the darkest of curses can be broken, and that even the most desolate of lands can be restored. The story of the thatched roof hut and the pastor resonates with a timeless message, the triumph of good over evil. It is a story that inspires us to stand up for what is right, to have faith in the face of adversity, and to never give up hope. Let us remember the lessons of Engwa and Pastor Is, and let us strive to live lives of faith, courage, and compassion. For it is through these virtues that we can truly make a difference in the world and help to create a brighter future for all.